the early breakdown, and I'll pick it up about what's going on with the commissioner, KwaZulu Commissioner Mkhwanazi, and Mkhwanazi. Yeah.
Okay, so basically KwaZulu-Natal, often abbreviated as KZN, is a province located in the southeastern part of South Africa. Now, the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Nwala Mkhwanazi, publicly accused Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya of interfering in sensitive investigations during a recent briefing. Now, there's been a disbandment of political killings task team. Revealed that the police minister ordered disbandment of special task team investigating politically motivated assassinations. So basically, there is a special task force that has been tasked with the responsibility of investigating politically motivated assassinations. And someone is saying, sweep it under the carpet is not important. Over 120 case files, including some with active arrest warrants, were allegedly removed from KZN and shelved at the National Office in Pretoria. So they're trying to hide evidence and keeping those people that are loyal to them safe.
Yeah, so this guy, and this is a funny thing because Mkhwanazi is commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal. So he's basically he's putting a charge against his boss, the whole head of South African police, for covering things up. Now, what happened was there's a guy named Vusumuzi Matala, a very rich businessman, who was arrested for attempted murder. When they got his phone, they have the WhatsApp connecting him to the Mkhwanazi. No, not to Mkhwanazi, to what's the name of the
Mogotsi, Brown Mogotsi.
No, I'm talking about Mchunu, Senzo Mchunu. He's the one that's being charged. He's the head of the police. Yeah. So they have basically they have WhatsApp correspondence which link all of them together. They even have them saying, "Don't worry, we've covered up, we've liquefied those cases and everything." So this is damning evidence. This is pure evidence to the point where what's his name? Ramaphosa said this is a grave threat to national security. So we have to look into it. I don't know how this guy is going to get out of it because not Mkhwanazi, but the police commissioner who's being charged. Let me get his name correctly. Senzo Machu. He's being charged, and they're saying he's linked to drug cartels and to bigger. So this is a bigger overarching criminal enterprise.
Yes,
it seems like there's strong evidence that he's done criminal. And now this Mkhwanazi has now become a hero all over South Africa because he's like a military guy. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to die for my country. I don't care if they kill me that I've exposed this. So it puts the government in a weird position. And if anything happens to them, it's going to be a big scandal.
And
personally, I think this is very good that this guy is doing this. It's very good that he's doing this. He's very heroic, and he's put it to the spotlight. He's basically a whistleblower. He's released this to the public, and now the whole world is watching. So, I mean, I wish we could see more of this, especially in places like Nigeria. We don't see this, where somebody has the courage to come out and expose these guys. What's your thought about this in general, Kunle? Yeah.
Yes, it does take a lot of courage to be a whistleblower. But if you really want to get your word across, especially in Africa, you need to get what are these people? The internet people. Oh, I'm so old-fashioned. That's not what they're called. Influencers. There you go.
Influencers. Like us. Influencers.
Yes, internet people. Yes, it needs to get across to influencers. They need to carry this story in order to protect it, because you're only protected when everybody speaks out and everybody hears. When everybody knows, then it's much harder to do things in the dark, what has been brought to light. So that is what
it's been spreading. From what I'm seeing, it's spreading.
Yes, it's a movement of truth. And if that movement is big enough and fast enough, successful enough, it can be a movement that can catch to other places, other countries, when if you see how it's dealt with, when it's been exposed. Because all these top regimes, when they get caught out, they always want to see what's going to happen next, how they can now plan their own next move based on what comes out of this.
Yeah, it's serious because a lot of South Africans in South Africa, nobody's safe. If someone beats you up or rapes you, a lot of times they can get the case thrown away, or the police, the people in the jails let them out. So I think people are tired, and I think this thing is going to catch a wave, and people are going to get angry, and you might see a what I would call a moderate revolution, at least of the system. But I always go back to everything. Socialism is the answer. It's because of this capitalist free market system that we have, which allows criminals to run the world. Make no doubt about it. If you think these guys are criminals, the police chief that's bad, the bigger criminals are people like Donald Trump, Biden. These guys are the ultimate criminals because they can kill people with impunity. And what you see going on at this level with the drug distribution and everything, politicians are also involved in it. So it's not just enough to say, oh, we want justice to be held. We also want to go beyond that. After this case is over, to people to keep an eye on, see how South African money is being spent. Because if the money is being spent properly, then you won't have leaders in power who can just take advantage of people. We need to have oversight. You need to have a proper constitution that's enforced. It's going to be difficult. There's going to have to be a change in culture, not just in South Africa, all over the world, in which the citizens don't just depend on the government. And I think that's part of what socialism should be. It's actually collective policing and collective leading of the country. Everybody, we need to change our democratic system where you just vote in somebody and then they just pass laws. No, we need to be collectively looking at the legislature and everything and make sure that laws are passed and make sure it's just like China. You have a people's army and a people's police, which means that it's not separated from the society. Everybody's part of it, because if you leave it to those guys separately to do it, they're going to keep you in the blind and things like this will happen. And you just have to get lucky and find a WhatsApp phone call to figure out what's going on. Even though we already knew this stuff was going on, it's just proof now. What do you think, Afolabi? Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. Is there a criminal syndicate linked to politicians? Yes, of course. Are there police officers that are complicit? Yes, of course. This is a playbook that has existed for a long time. And the commissioner of police claimed that this move was designed to shield powerful criminal syndicates linked to politicians. It happens everywhere in Africa.
Also, one more thing, Falabi, it was also money was being used. It was also covering up cases in which political assassinations were taking place too.
Can you imagine that? So he cited WhatsApp chats involving Brown Mogotsi, a known associate of Mkhwanazi, and a suspect in major police contract fraud case as part of evidence. So this guy is very bold. I just hope they don't sweep it under the carpet. Now,
he's a soldier. You know, I always like to joke. There's two types of psychopaths. By a definition, a psychopath is just someone who's not afraid. Not all psychopaths are bad. So psychopaths can either become criminals or policemen or Formula One drivers or stuntmen. The true definition of a psychopath is someone who's not afraid. So whoever this guy is, he's a military guy. He's not afraid to die. It's wired in his brain. They also like taking risks. So for him, he doesn't mind the glory. You know who else might have been a psychopath? What's his name? Malcolm X. Malcolm X was not afraid of dying. And he also used to be a criminal. Malcolm X was a criminal. So maybe you shouldn't call a psychopath. The better word is cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded people, there are good cold-blooded people and there are bad cold-blooded people. It just depends on what their value system. So this guy, he's a soldier. He's willing to die. There are many people like that. Remember, like when there was World War II, people leave their house and say, I'm going to die for my country. Some people are like, nah, I'm too scared. I'll help by building the bridges and things. I won't be on the front line. I'll be in the back writing the liberation speeches. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not a psychopath. But what I'm making is that he's brave, but someone has to take a stance. Traore did it in Burkina Faso, and he knows he can die. If tomorrow Traore dies, I won't be surprised. He knows he can die. Martin Luther King knew he was going to get killed. Malcolm X knew he was going to get killed, and yet they still kept going forward. So the question is, what are we willing to die for? If we fight collectively to stop this type of bullshit, some of us will die. But isn't it better for us to die and know that in the future our countries are better? What are your thoughts, Kunle, before we head out?
Yes, courage and self-sacrifice is what pushes humanity forward. And when these things are exposed to the public, as happened, it's now the challenge for the public to do right by these people who have shown the courage to stand up and expose these wrongs. And if they don't, then that society forever be damned to accept the cruelty of whatever comes forth. So it is a crossroads for the state of South Africa and its good governance, and let's make the right decision.
Yeah, perfectly well said. I think we can end on that. That was well said. Take us out with any last few words, Afolabi.
Yeah, basically, in fairness to Cyril Ramaphosa, he appears to be striking the right notes. I think is currently involved in the BRICS summit. He says there will be investigations. People will be held accountable. So to what extent he follows through on his promise, we'd later know, because some of these presidents too, they are the kingpin of some of these allegations.
You know what Ramaphosa is going to do? He's going to call them and say, "Sorry, guys, my hands are tied."
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
He has no choice.
He doesn't have any choice. So that's the way I see it. At the end of the day, the allegations will go on investigated. Organizations that have demanded inquiries will get egg in their face at the end of the day, and then suspensions and possible criminal proceedings will be swept under the carpet. I don't see anything coming out of this.
He'll take action because he has no choice. There's all eyes on him.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
but
so
you know what it is? Whoever goes down will be a scapegoat. They'll still have people above that are still running things. They'll make a few scapegoats. Of course. Sorry if I take us out.
These criminal syndicates are on payroll from government.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything good happening from this. And it's on this note that we round up.
Actually, the opposite. The syndicates pay the government. Yeah, the government. But it's
because
it's the same. I don't know which one is which. Yeah. All right. Take us out.
Okay. It's another brilliant South African show. We've been discussing South Africa and all the shenanigans and how government is complicit with criminal gangs and assassinations are being covered up. And we've also been discussing Hamas's reviewing of the ceasefire recommendations, and from Mustafa, Kunle, and myself, we'll be back sometime again.
Hey, Kunle, we don't try 3 shows today. Now, wow. Kunle
must be knackered. Kunle must be knackered now.
All right. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll probably do just one show tomorrow. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.